following are events from Reddit. Events so scary you wish they were only in your nightmares. Viewer discretion is advised. What secret could ruin your life?
Neither of my 2 kids are my husband's. Before you judge, let me explain. My husband is a good man and a great father. He is a man that loves his boys unconditionally. Not only that, but he teaches my boys to be real men too. When I married him, we planned on having kids, but after almost 2 years of not getting pregnant, I assumed it was me. I was in a weird place where everything we wanted in life was going down the drain. We wanted kids and eventually grandchildren, and it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. I went out with the girls one night to let loose, and I had decided I was infertile. So that night I met a tall guy, just like my husband, guess I have a type, and we hooked up. Truthfully, he was just a body, it wasn't emotional, I just wanted to feel alive again. I don't even remember his name as I was kinda drunk. Like 2 weeks later I found out I was pregnant. I was pissed that I was pregnant because it left me doubting whose it was. My husband found the pregnancy test, and I was kinda forced into keeping it. I couldn't tell him, so we had our first son. After giving birth we went 4 years trying to have another one. And nothing. We tried everything except having a fertility test. I don't think either of us wanted to face the music. The second guy was hot. It was a mistake. He was just so charming. I said no. But the second he put his head gently on my hip, slowing, moving it to my back, I couldn't control myself. Confession, I've never been that turned on. I made the guy finish in me because that was a total turn on for me. Few weeks go by and yup, I was pregnant. So I think it's safe to say neither of them are my husbands. It would kill him if he found out. And we are happy. So why's matter? I don't see anything wrong with it other than the fact he would be crushed if he found out. Am I a bad person? No, I'm actually looking out for him because I don't want him to hurt.
Spreading STDs.
I've got AIDS and I sleep with other guys unprotected. I can't help it. I like the feeling of a man, and just because I have got AIDS shouldn't mean my life's instantly over. I don't know these guys, TBH. I don't let anyone close to me because I don't want them to catch feelings for me. Or worse, I catch feeling for them. It's just a physical thing. They are attracted to me and we have some good moments together. I don't feel bad because I don't know them. I'm sure some of them are good guys. But I'm sure some of them aren't. I don't know how much longer I have. So I'm just going to enjoy it while it lasts.
Lies, lies, all lies. I got away with it.
I killed my sister 25 years ago and got away with it. I hated her, but keep in mind I was only 10 at the time, and she was 6. She got everything she wanted and my parents loved her. It wasn't a good reason and I know looking back on it was wrong, but as a 10-year-old that's all I thought about. One night my dad had bought more shampoo, but he left it downstairs, and so when it was bath time, he left her alone to go get the shampoo downstairs. I ran into the bathroom and held her under the water until she stopped moving. Then went back to my room. I can still hear my dad panicking when he got back upstairs. My dad blames himself, thought that she drowned on her own. No one ever questioned it. I always thought I would be caught and have to go to jail or something. But 25 years later I don't think that will happen. It was hard for my parents to move on. With her out of the picture I did get their love back. I don't know if their love was worth the guilt.
I bullied a girl until she killed herself.
I bullied a girl in my class until she killed herself. Bullying goes unnoticed, so I was never caught. We weren't even friends online. I stay after school to work on our grad, and so did she. When we were alone, I made fun of her. Like some really hard things. Called her fat, told her no one loved her, told her she smelled bad. Said some stupid things like that. I don't even know why. I didn't like the way she looked, but that was it. That was enough for me to make fun of her. I told her to kill herself every day. She never really said anything back, and when she did, she didn't really express too much emotion. I think the reason I got to the point of telling her to kill herself was because she didn't express any emotion. Had she got upset or snapped back, I probably would stop. But she didn't. She pretty much took everything I had to throw at her. Every day for months. One day I was sitting in class, the principal came in and said she kill herself. I waited every day for a year thinking they would find out what I said to her. They never did. Can't help but feel I was the reason she kill herself.
Iraqi soldier.
I was a soldier in Iraq. It was more effed up over there than any media or news portrayed. I said I was a soldier, but really I was forced into it. Being raised in a military family, I understood what it was like, but it wasn't in my blood. My brother was a soldier. Lived, eat and breathed like a soldier even when we were children. I always felt more concerned and paranoid than what you'd expect from a soldier. Being in war wasn't any good for me. My paranoia and fears were amplified under stressful conditions. I hate to admit it, but I wasn't a good person over there. I was always more concerned with myself than my fellow soldiers. I made sure I wasn't the first into bad situations. One time we were clearing out a house, and me and my brother were sent to clear out the upstairs. I always felt good when my brother was there because he was the real deal. He was the exact type of person you wanted by your side. We went upstairs and were clearing out the 3 rooms. When we went into the second room, I saw a man with an AK-47. Instantly I grabbed my brother's shoulder and pulled him between the man and myself. My brother lost his balance as the man shot at us, instantly killing my brother. I shot and killed the man. I stood there stunned, looking down at my brother expecting him to get up. I could visibly see his head, and it was the type of injury no one would stand up from. But again, he had that type of personality that made you believe they were invincible. I was paralyzed and our platoon leader yelled up to me. I couldn't move, just looking at him lifeless. I couldn't believe this superhero-like person was dead. When my platoon leader got upstairs, I thought I was in for it, thinking to myself I am the reason for his death. I could have easily shot the man first, but for some reason my action was to pull my brother in front of me. My brother died a war hero. My parents believe that he died jumping in front of me to save my life. As a solider, I can tell you no one is ever fast enough to jump in front of a bullet to save you. I'm likely at the point I can't save myself. I think this is one of those things you can't truly live with yourself after happening. This one could send me to jail. This one could make me lose my job. This one could make me lose my family. But for Reddit, I'll tell you. I work as a nurse at the hospital in a large city. I seem to take care of many of our older patients, and to be frank, I like that. When I was in school, I always thought about taking care to the elderly. I had a great relationship with my grandparents, and always thought there was something cute about old people, not sure when they changed. These old people are not like the old people I grew up around. First, let's talk about the environment. I work all times of day, so my sleep patterns are hard to figure out. This puts you in a state of daze. I work with a lot of women who do nothing but gossip and play games. While being tired, this wears on you. These women happily ruin the doctors' marriages. Because, well, I don't know. The doctors, although they may be smart, haven't clued into this, and genuinely think that are hot stuff. So when you mix that with the constant smell of death in the air, it wears you out. Literally death in the air. You might not know this, but sometimes parts of people die before they die. And the smell that comes with that is horrible. Now let's talk about the patients. They are not cute old people. They are old, sick and twisted guys. They have given up in life. One guy would literally poop himself because he thought it was funny we had to clean him up. Another guy would touch himself when we came in, just to creep us out. I don't think that thing even worked anymore. He later admitted to us he liked scared women, and always have. So when you are out into this situation, time and time again, you lose it. I snapped. It was a late night in August when one of the patients decided he wanted to piss in the other beds, so he could have the room to self for the night. I was in charge of cleaning it. I don't even remember what he said to me, but my response was, "You know, I could kill you and no one would know." With a very arrogant look on his face he said, "Try." And then I did. I said he had passed away before I came in. What's worse is that set something off in me. You know, as a nurse we have access to ways that could easily kill almost anyone who comes in. And no one would know. I'm only 27, and I've helped speed up the death process of 2 people already. Edit. The second killing was spur of the moment. I was cleaning an old man at the time, and he told me I looked like his niece. As I touched his balls he said she used to touch him there too. I snapped, and well, that was his last day. Don't mess with your nurse.
Dog killer.
I killed my neighbor's dog. This little thing yapped all day. All 6 pushes of it. I never said anything to them, so I don't think they would think I did if. But imagine as you are trying to study for your exams, this little dog would not stop barking. Literally all day. Like, when did it stop? One day I jumped the fence when it was in its backyard. I peered in through the back door to see where the woman was. I could see the back of her head as she sat in the front living room, so I know she could see me. So I stomped a dog. I was shocked at how easy it was. The head crushed easier than a coconut. I was really shocked. The blood went everywhere and the dog died instantly. I left it there, and maybe 5 minutes later I heard screams come from the old lady. But I found my peace.
I like women's hair.
I used to sneak into my neighbor's apartment through the fire escape. Hey, New Yorker here. We aren't all hot-headed egomaniacs here. I'm actually a pretty level-headed friendly guy. Or so I seem. I love women, but who doesn't? There was these couple of broads that lived next door to me. Real smoke shows. I have a fascination for women hair. It's not even weird. I just like holding it, touching it, smelling it. When my neighbors would leave for the day I would sneak into their place through the fire escape and into their living room. It always smelled nice. Often I would go to the bathroom and take the hair out of the drain. I always found if you let the hair air dry for a couple days it would smell just like new.
Heroin user.
That until a week ago I was a heroin user. I'd lose my kid, my family, my job, everything. Finally just finished the worst of the detox. Here's to keeping on keeping on. I don't think I'll ever tell them, even though I am currently clean and have no desire to go back. Fuck, is it hard to go through it completely alone. Edit. Thanks all for the support, it means a lot. Second edit. Figured I'd update y'all. Over second weekend, doing fucking fantastic. I barely even think about it anymore, keeping myself busy with work. Third edit. It's been a month since I first posted this. I am still sober, life is awesome, I love my new job, and newfound social life, met a pretty rad chick. Life is fucking good. Fourth edit. 07.18.2017, at 80 days sober. Life is amazing. I really appreciate y'all for continuing to check in. I've told my family, they are supportive and want to see this through. X was just arrested on felony possession charges. This was absolutely a blessing I got out of there when I did. Thankfully she is in rehab. Fifth edit. Over 100 days in and doing awesome, even under a lot of stress. Hurt my back again, not bad, but enough to jet scene. All will be well in a week. I straight out refused any opiate they were willingly throwing at me. It was so fucking hard, but I can't risk it. It's too soon. Sixth update. Just shy of 180 days and still going strong. So many of you check in with me on a frequent basis, I appreciate it so much. My life is amazing. Please, if you know an addict, ask if they are okay and listen. It changes things immensely to know that someone cares. If anyone needs to talk or needs help, please feel free to contact me at any time. You are not alone. Update 1/29/2018. I'm assuming this thread was cross-posted to a new thread because I have folks reaching out all day. Thank you all for reaching out, means a lot. Yes, I am still sober. I'm coming on a year now without sliding back. Life is awesome, and while I can't say I don't still think about it, I've made no attempt to seek it out, nor do I want to. If you are thinking about quitting opiates and need advice or just want some information, feel free to PM me. You can do it, life is so much better without it. Final edit 4/22/2018 sober officially a year. Fuck yes. I know it's a ridiculous thing to celebrate, but here I am, and life is amazing. If anyone needs help, reach out, even to me. I'll do whatever I can to get you there. It can be done on your own. Appreciate all of the support.
You never know who lives next door.
I was sexually assaulted by my parents' neighbors, a father and son. The son was in his teens, I was 8. They used to put me in this walk-in closet and have show time. I never realized what was happening until several years after we had moved from my grandmother's house in Phoenix to Houston. Fast forward 20 years goes by and I have a daughter of my own. She's 4 and we decided to visit Grandma in good old Valley of the Sun. We get there and a few days pass and one day my daughter's outside with her older cousins playing. I step outside to check on her, and I'm greeted with that same fucking neighbor's son holding my daughter giving her raspberries, while his dad is playing with the other's cousins. Something clicked more like a twitch in my mind, something tipped me just a nudge, but it started something. I walked outside, grabbed my daughter and corralled the kids and made my presence known. That tipping point sent me into an emotional spiral of brooding thoughts. In white collar, I make my money off of thinking. I'd never say this to real life human, nor will I ever give the details of how I did it. But several months after our visit with Grandma, my wife thought I had another work training when in fact I came back to Phoenix. I burned their home to the ground. Everything was lost except for the master bedroom and walk-in closet. P.S. A well-placed anonymous tip does amazing things to fuck up someone's life. They both survived, unfortunately. I swear to God I've hoped I've done enough good in my life to earn at least one wish. That would be to meet those low-life maggot creepers in hell, and be their eternal tormentor. I look at my daughter every day and know she gave me the strength I needed as an adult I didn't have as a child.
You never know who lives next door.
I once lived beside one of the most messed up men you will ever meet. He was fat, old, thick glasses. Wore the same t-shirt and sweatpants every day. Never spoke to anyone and always avoided eye contact. Times were different in the 70s. It's hard to explain to younger people, but it seemed more private. There wasn't cameras all over and you could close your blinds and be shut off from the world. It was nice, but it also meant you lived beside some really sick people. I tended to my property but didn't pay much attention to my neighbors or what went on outside my house. We were taught to. We were taught to stick to your guns. This is really the moral of the story for both him and me. I always heard cats meowing. It wasn't bad, just something that was constant. For months I thought nothing of it. Again, stick to your guns. Till one day I heard them and it piqued my curiosity. I looked over the fence to my neighbor's house and saw something you'll never forget. 5 cats, all buried in the dirt so their heads were the only thing showing. I scratched my eyes thinking this couldn't be the reason I had always heard cats. It was the reason. I couldn't believe it. This sick man would steal the cats from the neighborhood and just bury them head height. He got joy out of watching them, or hearing them. I couldn't figure out which. Now, at that time my father was ex-military and well, a lot of his friends were not mentally stable. Very violent and the type you don't want to be around. So I remember telling them what this guy was doing. Someone needed to stop him. Not being the type to engage in activities like this, I suggested they go pay him a visit. They did, and they beat the crap out of him. Real bad. I remember thinking it was a good thing and I should be happy. But the meowing didn't stop. This guy didn't learn his lesson. Like I said, my neighbor wasn't the type to look you in the eyes or speak to you. So when I saw the same man that beat him senseless, I told a small lie. I told him I spoke to the neighbor and he said you hit like a girl. That he was going to continue to kill the kittens. 3 or 4 days later my neighbor was found dead. Beaten to death. I don't like to think that my lie was what led to it. I thought he would only beat him up again, that was it. I'm more worried the man that did it finds out I was lying, and comes for me. I live in fear every single day because of this.
The truth hurts to listen to.
I am attracted to little boys. I don't know why. It's something I know is wrong, but I don't know how to deal with it. It's like if someone were to tell you to stop finding women attractive. Could you? If so, for how long? Most people think of guys like me and think that we are hiding in the shadows preying on innocent boys. That's not true. Most of us know how to function in society. We know the difference between right and wrong, but that doesn't stop the feelings from coming. I'm scared to even ask for help because of what might happen. I'm sure if I came clean, my wife would leave me and take our son with her. I couldn't live with that. What am I to do?
Con Queen.
Where do I start? Okay, secrets that could ruin my life. This one's easy. So first, I'm not who I say I am. I left the state I was in because I committed fraud and had a arrest out for me. I adopted a woman identity after she left her license at the dealership I was working in. I'm sure this identity won't last long, as they never do. I've stolen cars and slept with men for money. Oh, and I'm likely going to marry another man under an identity I have no cover story for. This guy was kind and generous, so I took advantage of the situation. He's got a good amount of money. Not a lot. But I already plan on taking that from him. So if he ever found out any of this, it would kill him. He thinks I'm a good girl.
Clues can be found in the comments. Clues can be found in the description. Clues can be found in the thumbnail. Clues can be found in the wording. Clues can be found in the audio. And clues can be found in the background.